drop the beat.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Beat Drop. We have got some amazing interviewees tonight, and I want to say first off, thank you so much for all of you that have been around watching the show. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate it. The last couple of seasons, we've been stuck on the YouTubes, haven't been getting a lot of views, but now we get to actually interact with you all and have fun in that way. And I love that because I love hearing from the teams and learning about the teams and the players. Like, that's what I loved about the old version of the Beat Drop. I still love it now, even though I don't get to interact with nearly as many of you anymore. But I love having that audience feedback and having you all here to kind of enjoy the show along with me instead of it just feeling like I'm recording it kind of for myself kind of thing. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Be sure to be hitting that heart, punching that bell, so you get notified every time that we are online. As you see, my partner here, Nasjak, obviously shocked, stunned, flabbergasted even at the amazing talent that we have to present to you this evening that I will be preparing. Unfortunately, due to everything that I've got going on outside of the Beat Drop, we were not able to prepare an Amp It Up segment for this week, but I mean, come on. It's the end of stage 2. It's been an incredible week. You don't need me to tell you the absolute highlights that we've been seeing. Some folks been able to kind of claw their way back through the elimination bracket, able to kind of swoop in under the radar into the playoffs. Some folks up in those A and B groups not doing so hot after their performance during stage 2. So hopefully it's just more of a, we're taking it easy in stage 2, so then we can boom hit it hard when we go into the knockout part of the playoff section we're getting ready to go into. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road. I gotta switch something over here real quick. We also didn't get a chance to test anybody's mic before tonight, so I might be adjusting things kind of on the fly. Just want to let you know ahead of time that might be an issue that we run into, but it wouldn't be the Beat Drop if Captain Jack didn't scuff it in one way or another. Give me just a moment here. It seems that we've lost one of our interviewees. No good. All the interviewees got to be in here. Otherwise, it's going to be so hard for me to interview y'all. All right, let's see if we can get that fixed real quick. Thank you for hanging with me. Beautiful. All right, 1, 2, 3. Blue skidoo, we can too, all that jazz. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. First up for this evening, we have a very scuffed video. God dang it. Oh man, I was really hoping that this would all work out. Let's go ahead and adjust that just a little bit. The video little. There we go. All right, beautiful. All right. First off, the support flexing his stuff in the back line last season. He was on Outlast in Discord tier, who sadly did not outlast the tournament. However, the Spartan in him never gave up, and now he finds himself trancing into the enemy backline as the Vanguard Spartans reliable flex support, one of the Harmony tier end of season nominees. Welcome to the Beat Drop, Sleepy G. Hey, how's it going, Sleepy G?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really nervous but also excited for Beat Drop today.
Hey,
how are you doing?
We are gonna have a fun time. Like I said, just trying to do my best to remove all the scuffness that I thought we had. I thought we had worked out, but apparently we didn't. So no worries. So Sleepy G, just an absolute honor to be able to talk with you this evening. I have not had a chance to read through any of these questions. Thank you, Thoramea, for preparing these for me. It seems to know a little bit about your history. Really appreciate that info. And Sleepy G, we know that the K-pop world is filled with many groups.
Oh God.
I would like you to name your top three favorite K-pop groups and your biases related to each one of those groups, and we'll allow you to go a little bit in depth. No shame here
All right.
whatsoever. We stand all music genres here on the
Uh,
Beat Drop.
I'm
So.
guessing Thor prepared these questions, so I love you and I also hate you. Uh, right off the bat, I'd say my number one group is a boy band group named Stray Kids. Love their music. A lot of rap, a lot of diverse tastes. Very unique compared to the
Mhm.
K-pop world. Um, Number 2 would have to be Dreamcatcher. I'm not going
Ooh.
into biases, except that my profile pic on Discord is a Dreamcatcher member named Kaihan.
Okay.
Love their energetic, kind of rockish vibe, and all the members, you gotta love the very pretty K-pop girls, very visually aesthetically pleasing. Um, I can't think of a number 3, so I'll skip that for now because there's too many.
Very well, very well. So, and just so you folks already know, I'm having Sleepy come in and out on my side too. We'll try to
Oh,
get that fixed as best as we can. I think it's just internet. It tends to scuff things up sometimes, so no worries whatsoever. Sleepy G, I heard that you won UCG while playing on a really bad laptop, or UGC rather. To all the laptop gamers in Trank, what are any words of encouragement or guidance that you would be willing to share on how to make it to the top on such shitty equipment?
if I can do it, you can do it.
There we go. I tell you what, some of the stuff that I'm able to pull off with the very few tools I have at my disposal is honestly amazing. So just like Sleepy said, if there's anything that you want to try, it may not be the best quality, it may not be the greatest, but if Sleepy can do it and I can do it, then you can do it too. So we hope that you try out new things despite what happens. So speaking of Trank, Vanguard swept their round two pool. Clean 3-0. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Out of all the matches for this round, what would you say is your favorite?
Um, Probably against Strix because
Oh.
that was the very first time that I had an actual desktop.
So it had nothing to do with Strix. You just had
Uh,
an actual computer.
I think the actual computer also helped me perform well during the
Ah,
match because it was my very first time playing on it too, and it felt
yeah.
great.
Oh, I could imagine. I could imagine for sure. Honestly, as someone who's a console player to begin with, I couldn't imagine playing on a laptop. Like I already have enough difficulties playing on a PC. Like I could not imagine play. You could even be like one of those high-end gaming laptops. No, 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 no. I mean, if you're just gonna connect a keyboard and mouse to it anyway, you might as well just buy a desktop. That's really all it comes down to.
Agreed. It helps.
All right. So with playoffs coming up around the corner, Sleepy, Vanguard has found themselves as a third seed and will be facing, I believe, Firefight to start things off in the knockout round. Now, of course, the way that you all are set, if I understand the knockout round correctly, this is new for this Trank season, so we're all kind of learning how it's going to work. You will get a second chance at redemption should something happen against Firefight or any of the teams you face along the way to the end of the knockout round. Um, if we are to believe those impatient Trank members who cannot wait for the official brackets, you know who you are. Thea knows who you are. She's coming for you. how is your team going to be preparing for the playoffs? Not you, Sleepy, the impatient people out there.
Um, the way that we will prepare,
Hmm.
um, I think all our team members are individually skilled,
Okay.
and I'm not worried about my teammates. It's just making sure that there's no holes in our teamwork. And
Hmm.
honestly, I'm not worried at all about this playoffs whatsoever.
Wow. You do realize there's still like 2 months of competition left. Not worried at
I'm not
all.
worried. I am very
Dang.
confident in our team. It's
The
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 yeah.
absolute cojones on Sleepy G right here, literally calling out all the Harmony tier. Just coming for you. All right. Well, you know what? Seeing Vanguard kind of flipped on its head this season has honestly been really great. I mean, and we typically see this throughout Tranquility every season anyway. When we have a new team that comes in, very rarely do they not just get stomped. Like that's just the clear picture of it. It's not being mean or anything. It's just the way that it is. We saw it with Void 2 seasons ago. We saw it with Frost and Monarch and other teams that have been doing much better this season, because it's all about getting the lay of the land. You got to know who you're competing against, and some you win, some you lose, more times you lose. And just kind of seeing where that ceiling is at. And so I've been really impressed with the Vanguard Spartans and seeing them come back like this. And as we're getting ready to wrap up this section of interviewing, folks at home, if you want to get in on the interview, if you want to ask any questions of Sleepy G, write them down in the chat. And maybe, just maybe, your question will be selected for me to ask Sleepy G before we let them off the hook tonight. So why is that always one of the first questions? So, you know what? I'm just going to ask it and get out of the way. Sleepy, who's your favorite teammate? Nikki wants to know. Nikki wants to
Uh,
know who's your favorite
um,
teammate?
sorry, Nikki, it's not you. My favorite teammate, if I had to pick one,
Ooh.
I would say Nibik. It's just a good guy, and he's in the support line with me, and he always keeps me up. When I put my trust into a guy like that, we have each other's backs.
You know what? You can't go wrong with that. You got to go with your duo. That's what I'd say. They got your back, you got their back. The DPS and the tanks, they're off doing whatever, getting eliminations or whatever, and they just leave you all alone to fend for yourselves. So, I agree. I think that's that's great. And you've just made the rest of your team sad in the chat, apparently. So
Um, I mean, be a better teammate, maybe favor me, give me gifts.
Dang.
PayPal, Venmo, it's open.
Sleepy got no chill. Ooh, dang.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. All right. It looks like we have Sage Jitsu in the chat asking Sleepy, what is your favorite composition to play? And what support do you typically pick for that composition?
Uh, I'm not too sure on the compositions. We run a lot of compositions,
Mm-hmm.
but any composition with Ana or Zenyatta on it, which makes me look good because I can just get kills.
Anything that you can pop off on, right?
Anything I can pop off on, probably Ana or Zen. Anything with Ana and Zen in it, I'm very
Nice.
confident in, and I
I
like
was
those comps.
I was doing some EGF coverage earlier today, and dang, I'm always impressed by an Ana that can pop off with anti-nades, like literally like threading the needle between shields, just
That's
like
what
be
these
able to.
classes are for.
Oh, it's to
Yeah,
zoom
that's a thread
zoom
the
in.
needle.
It's just
Yeah.
just does all the calculations for you. Like if I throw it
Yep.
at this angle, it'll go right between. Ooh, that's some Dexter's Lab stuff if I've ever seen it. Goodness gracious. All right. So all right. Needless to say, Sleepy, it has been absolutely wonderful interviewing you, but we are coming to the end. So that means, as per tradition here on the Beat Drop, we get to ask wacky and wild questions. Which, by the way, I have a follow-up, folks, from last week where Nagisa unfortunately ran away without telling us if she was an ice cream flavor, what flavor she would be. She said she'd be blueberry, which I thought was odd because I've never seen blueberry ice cream. Not saying it doesn't exist, but I've just never seen it. I live in the Northeast. Maybe it's just not a Northeast thing. It's totally plausible. So, but just so you know, we didn't let Nagi get away. We don't let people get away without getting the weird question. So,
God.
Sleepy, hope you're ready. This is going to be a
I'm not
tough
ready.
one. Are you ready? Oh,
No.
boy.
No.
Oh, boy. All right.
No.
Sleepy, how would you explain Overwatch in 3 sentences to your 8-year-old nephew? If you had an 8-year-old nephew. I don't know if you do, but if you did.
Big, giant, flying monkey. A girl who can travel through time.
Okay.
Mass confusion.
You know what? That sums up Overwatch for me. I got to be completely honest with you. A big angry monkey, girl that travels through time, and mass confusion. That's typically what I'm casting 90% of the time. All right, Sleepy. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Beat Drop. Is there anybody that you'd like to shout out or thank or anything else that you'd like to talk about before we let you go tonight?
Probably my coach, Muffins. He's made an amazing team. He's done some amazing work with the team, giving us strats, teaching us how to play the game. So yeah, shout out to you, Muffins. You made this team amazing.
Awesome. That is absolutely incredible. Well, thank you, Sleepy G, for joining us today. We've got more interviews to head on to. So let's go ahead and get to that. Coming in, our second interview with another botched video positioning. Let's get that right there. There we go. All right. Next up, we hold the line with this main tank. First starting off as Boop's main tank in Season 6, then booping themselves to Discord tier in the same season to join Frost as their main tank. They have returned from the cold and are now blossoming as Lotus's main tank. Welcome to the Beat Drop, Euphoria. Wow. Coming in on the rainbow this time around.
Oh my gosh, why am I rainbow?
I don't
What in the
know.
world?
No clue whatsoever, Euphoria. No clue. Sometimes OBS just does that. It was just perfect timing that you were like that when we came in. So
it's good. I love being a rainbow. I can deal with it.
Hey, absolutely nothing wrong with that. So as always, folks, be sure to be asking your questions in the chat for Euphoria, and your question might be asked tonight on the Beat Drop. So Euphoria, you have consistently been main tank for all of the teams that you have played on. What appeals to you about main tank? Because I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of a flex player, but tank's like my specialty. And I feel like I'm a little bit of a masochist playing tank with the way that the meta is right now. Especially main tank. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's a brutal world out there for us main tanks, especially with Overwatch 2 on the horizon. They ain't giving us no love. So what appeals to you, or what has appealed to you over the years of playing that position?
Well, as a role, as a whole, I really enjoy playing main tank because I feel like I have a lot of control over the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like what I do impacts the team so much, and I can take such a like what I do impacts the game so much that it really, like, whenever a game we win because I do something, or I hit a big shatter, or I communicate to the team what the plan is and what the pathing is. I really enjoy that aspect of like being the leader on the field and having that kind of that control, and also dominating on Reinhardt is kind of the most satisfying thing in the game.
Popping that MTD in the chat is indeed very satisfying after a nice big shatter. I will not lie. So of course you got to experience a little bit of that tonight during your match against Mark III. That closes out round 2 for you all. You were able to take away the dub on this one. How do you feel about Lotus's performance. Lotus, as we've kind of noted on in previous beat drops, they were here last season, went through a complete overhaul coming into this season, and now y'all are just knocking heads. So, how do you feel about your performance, and kind of where do you see y'all along the track to the playoffs?
So this stage was really rough for us in general. We lost 2 players from stage 1. Our off tank has disappeared into the void. We have no idea where he is. I hope he's okay. I love that guy.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah, we don't know where he is. And then our main
Yeah.
support player uh, decided to drop from the team. So
Okay.
we have been kind of scrambling to get our feet underneath us.
Okay.
Um, we had to ask some friends. We had to pull Appa from Squall. We had to get Neprony, which is one of Zatanu's friends, and we had to kind of we had to get our feet under us. But I feel like tonight, after our win, that was huge for us. I have a lot of high hopes for us. I think we can win. I think we definitely can win.
Awesome. Well, I know as someone who's been following a lot of different teams and kind of the struggles that they've had this season, and we see this every season, whether it be school or work or when it comes to just outside IRL responsibilities. It's difficult sometimes to really kind of get your feet under you as a team when you're dealing with so many conflicting schedules at times. So that's actually really great to see that y'all are working through that as best as you can. And for those teams out there that are still struggling, if you were just either you were in the elimination group and you barely just got in under the radar, or if you've been eliminated already because the struggles were just too hard, or if you're still hanging in there like Lotus is, just keep going best you can. And there also is no shame in dropping out if you have to. Like real life is always most important. Like communities like this, keep my fingers crossed, knock on wood, will always be here
Yep.
at the end of the day for you to come back and participate in. So be sure to be taking care of yourselves. Definitely a big. What? Sorry, I'm getting notes from one of our interviewers who's typing in the sheet, and it's just went all over the place. Nevertheless, so apparently one of our interviewers found out from a former coach of yours that you are an absolutely huge Final Fantasy 14 fan.
Oh fuck! Oh god! Yes! Holy shit! Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
We do our due diligence,
You
Euphoria.
do? Oh my gosh! Wow, I was not expecting that.
We dig, and we dig small.
Yeah, I am. It's my favorite game. I have like 2,000 hours in the last year on it. I absolutely love Final Fantasy 14. That's my favorite game.
Oh.
No shame. I love that game.
Hey, you know what? I'm a Kingdom Hearts stan, so I got a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
of that love for the Final Fantasy.
yeah.
So I mean, without going into a complete tirade in that direction, give me 30 seconds. What makes FF14 such a good game?
Well, it has a free trial up to level 60, including the award-winning expansion Heavensward with no restrictions on playtime, which is a really good aspect of the game. I really enjoy the end game. I think the story is probably, especially Shadowbringers, is probably the best story a Final Fantasy game has to offer. The end game content is really, really fun. I really enjoy raiding. I really enjoy playing with people. You don't lose in that game, and you get a lot of time to hang out with your friends. So unlike Overwatch, where you can get shit on and then not have fun for the whole night, you can really just sit there and enjoy the whole time when you're playing Final Fantasy 14. And I love that aspect of the game. It's also very social, which is wonderful. I love the social aspect of that game.
I gotta say, I'm a little impressed that you had that elevator speech ready to go. Like that was absolutely incredible, and I love games like that as well. Anything that's kind of social, that has that coordinating aspect. I've been getting into Destiny 2 a lot, and
Oh
it
yeah,
has a little bit of that aspect. I know a few people in the community that have been hitting me up to get on that. Caden, I know you desperately want to carry me, but I just don't have time right now, Caden. I'm so sorry. But games like that I always think are great and are great arguments for the whole are video games hurting our society conversation that is constantly happening in the world, because especially in times like these, I'm gonna get on my soapbox a little bit.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
In times like these where we've been spending the last 18 months locked inside, not able to go anywhere, let me tell you, video games and technology, to the best of their abilities, has been able to fill that gap. I don't
True.
think that there is a better way to describe how well that question can be answered now. Like, you can't deny it anymore. Like, people that don't like video games, stop crapping on things that we enjoy. All right, I know that's why you're doing it. You just don't like it. You're bad at video games. I get it. But like, at the end of the day, games like Final Fantasy, or even if you do simple games like the Facebook gaming through checkers or Jackbox games or whatever, the little chat games that they have. Anything that's interactive has really kind of changed how this pandemic has affected everything. And so that's my little soapbox for gaming. I'm always a big proponent of video gaming and kind of the positives that it brings, because way too many people focus on the negatives. But so I'm going to give you another 30 seconds, Euphoria. I want you to advertise it to the Overwatch Tranquility community in hopes to convert more people to it.
Fuck. It has a kind of similar art style, I would say, in a lot of ways. So if you aesthetically you're very into Overwatch, I think a lot of aspects of it. It has the same kind of roles. So it has tank, healer, DPS. It's like the teamwork aspect of Overwatch is definitely in play in Final Fantasy 14. Like, you have to work as a team to get through dungeons and trials and raids, and I think that aspect can be very enjoyable to people who play Overwatch, like the team aspect of it. But also, I know personally, I really enjoy optimizing and being really good at your class, and really engaging, and trying to get better and better and better, and improving. I love that aspect of the game, and I love that in both Overwatch and Final Fantasy 14.
Nice. So I guess the last thing that I have to ask on the Final Fantasy 14 aspect: have you ever had someone run into a dungeon yelling Leroy Jenkins?
Oh, they don't say it; they just do it. Oh, they just do it. Sometimes you'll be
You
the
gotta
tank.
say it. It doesn't count if you don't say it. Come on.
I've said it. If it makes you feel better, I've
Okay,
done that
as
before.
long as you've done it, that's good enough for me. All right. Um, So Euphoria, you had a very visceral reaction to Final Fantasy 14. And I'm hoping that this next thing that we're getting ready to talk about doesn't also give that same reaction. So thank you, Pineapple Bro, for this lovely graphic I'm pulling up on screen right now. Can you tell us a little bit about your fruit tier list?
Oh my
There,
god, the fruit
Euphoria.
tier! Holy shit! This tier list is so important. Okay. So me and Pineapple Bro, we
Okay.
were talking about fruit. It came up, right? And
Yeah.
so me and some of the friends I play Final Fantasy 14 with, we were
Okay.
talking about fruit, and we got so heated. And we were like, no, we gotta put this on a tier list. And so we spent, I think, literally 3 hours putting
Yep.
together this tier list. Every fruit that came up, it was like a 30 to 45 minute
I
conversation.
see this. This is a huge list of fruits. Some of these I don't even recognize.
Oh, we didn't. That's what the happy caveat is. Like, we were like, what are these? Like, honeydew? Oh my god, honeydew. Like, we were like, honeydew's not bad. And Pineapple Bro, he was like, that is the worst fruit in the world. It's the filler in the fruit salad. He would die on that hill if it was the last thing he would do. Bro, he hates honeydew, and I don't know. We couldn't convince him, and he was the one orchestrating the fruit. So it was what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it. So let's take a look here and see if we can get some ideas. I don't recognize all of them, so it looks like S plus tier. We got strawberries. I'd say that's pretty good fruit. I think those are kiwis.
They are.
And then the pineapples, of course, if Pineapple Bros putting it
Yeah.
together, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do I see lemons in both tiers, or is that a different
So
fruit in the S
one's I
plus?
don't remember what it's called, but it's like a different kind of lemon, and apparently
Okay.
pineapple. And some people have had it. And they're like it's super sweet and nice. Uh,
Okay.
and then the other one is actual lemon. The thing about lemon is we were basing the fruit off of if you picked it up and ate it, but we couldn't do that for lemon and lime because if you tried to pick up and eat a lemon, that'd be disgusting.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
so we had to base it off of like the which you can use lemon for, and that's why I got the S tier.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Understandable. And then it looks like clementines are the
Oh
last
yeah.
one in your S plus tier. My youngest absolutely loves those. Working our way down the list here, it looks like we got cherries and apples and
Yep.
blueberries and peaches and raspberries and watermelon and A tier. Not
Yep.
too shabby there. I would say that that's pretty accurate. We got oranges and limes and blackberries and grapes and B tier. Work your way down. I want to say that's what bananas and or sorry, bananas are in B tier. Are those
Yep.
like plantains in
Yes,
C
those are
tier?
they are plantains.
Okay. So we got plantains, plums, pears, lots of peas in
Yep.
the C tier there.
Yep.
Apparently, a grapefruit getting no love in the D tier, as well as coconut. Um, but I guess if you're going by the the idea of whether or not you can just bite into it, that's probably a good one.
Yeah,
And
you're not gonna have a good time like biting
not with
into
the
coconut.
coconut.
Yeah, no, probably not.
And then I know that Artemis might get a little heated with the pomegranate aspect. She absolutely loves those. She will die on that hill
That's
for
unfortunate.
pomegranate. That's for sure. That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. Some people have wrong opinions. It's okay. You know, it
Yeah,
happens.
well, she's my wife, so I don't get to have
Oh,
that
I'm sorry.
opinion.
Holy
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
no
It's
way. I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. We have fun. We have fun here. No worries. No worries. See, you get to say that. I don't because I'm her husband. So, and nevertheless, like I got to be honest, I don't recognize any of the fruits in the haven't had
Oh,
section.
neither do we. We were like, what are those? Those aren't real. I don't believe them.
Well, actually, one of those. Oh, what is it called? It's like the death fruit. What is that called? The one that it literally like smells like a dead body. I can't
Ugh.
remember the name. Oh, that's not on your list? Because I swore one of them looked like that. I forget what it's called.
It might. I've never had it, so I would know. I've never seen a death fruit before. But if it, I mean, it sounds.
Durian. Durian.
Oh, I don't
Yep.
know if that's on there. I would have to look.
I
I don't
could have
know.
swore one of those in the haven't hads
I've
was
never had a durian, so I can't say. You know what I mean?
it's very interesting. I haven't had it myself either, but in looking and people's reactions to it online have been across the spectrum. It's either you like it for some odd reason, even though it smells like death, or you just it smells like death, so you hate it. So
Yep.
it's definitely apparently Pineapple Bro says that goes in the ew in the
Honeydew.
ew honeydew area.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
oh man. Well, Euphoria, we've had a great time tonight. Thank you so much for joining in. We got a few additional questions to ask you before we let you go. Artemis would like to know who's your favorite hero? Not your favorite hero to play, but just your favorite hero.
Oh, in general,
Yeah.
if you would have asked me at launch, I would have probably said Roadhog. Roadhog was my first favorite
Ooh.
hero. I really liked him aesthetically. Now,
Mm.
if I had to pick like a new favorite hero, it'd probably be Sigma because I think Sigma is really cool aesthetically.
Piggy and toes. I like
Yep.
it. Those are some good picks right there. And Pineapple Bro has asked you. I feel like I'm gonna get another visceral reaction by asking this
Oh my
question.
god.
Euphoria, do you prefer to rip or to tear?
It's because every time so it's a reference to Doom Eternal. So every time
Oh,
every time Pineapple Bro uses a window, he goes
Mhm.
rip and tear, and he just screams at the top of his lungs. He completely clutters comms. I prefer
Oh
the
my
rip
gosh.
over tear. That's my
Oh my
answer.
gosh. I just prefer annihilation on
Yeah.
all
Oh,
aspects. Yeah,
100%.
that's my preference if I'm playing Overwatch. So oh boy, this has been a good one, let me tell you. But we gotta end it somewhere, Euphoria, and that is on your weird question of the evening. Now, Euphoria, if you were shrunk to the
Okay.
size of a pencil and were put in a blender, how would you get out?
Oh, that's a great.
Hmm.
That's a great question. You see, I think if that was a pencil. If I were taking this seriously, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would wait for like the blender to start, right? And then I would use like the upward, like the draft, like the air. I would like try and catch like an upward ride from the blades up through the top,
Okay.
and then I'd get out that way. I think I would. I think it would.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot left to that question that really isn't explained. First off, why the heck are people sticking pencils in blenders? Why would we shrink people and put them in blenders? That's really gross. Is the lid on for that matter? Some
If the
blenders
lid's on, I'm
so,
screwed.
some blenders don't work without the lid on. So is the blender even on? Like, I mean, there's just so many questions. But you know what? I can agree with that. That's probably a very good answer. And then of course uh, you have the aspect if there is liquid in the blender.
Oh, that's
Hopefully
true.
it's turned off. But if not, then you're gonna have a fun fight against the current to try to keep from getting sucked back down into it.
Yeah.
So. Euphoria, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Is there anyone that you would like to shout out or thank or anything else that you'd like to talk about before we let you go for the evening?
Uh, I want to say like my whole team, but that's a little. I want to thank specifically. I want to thank Pineapple Bro for this season. We had rough roster things in the very beginning, and I had to become GM of Lotus, and he had to become team captain, and he has really taken that he's taken that position, and like he puts so much work and effort into it, and as a GM, I appreciate it so much. He's a wonderful player and a team captain, and I love him.
Aw, well, we love Pineapple Bro as well. I've known Pineapple Bro for a couple seasons here in Trank, and they're just an absolute sweetie. So much love to Pineapple Bro in the chat. Oh, look at all those hearts in the chat. I absolutely love to see it. Well, Euphoria, thank you so much for joining me. But I got one more interview that I got to get to this
Oh
evening,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and let you go for now. Let's go ahead and transition to our final interview of the evening. We have got from the mouth of Fenrir bore a support that does not take no dubs for an answer. As a Philly fan through and through, even for the fusion, we won't hold it against them. They do everything they can to make sure their team hears their call and do everything they can to lead from the rear as well. Welcome to the Beat Drop. Gusty, welcome to the Beat Drop. How you doing
Hello.
tonight?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing good. I actually just got back from work, like maybe actually an hour ago. It's already been an hour. Holy.
Yeah, it's timing works weird on the Beat Drop sometimes. So it's like we have to get ready early, but then we have to spend a lot of time waiting.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
because we never know when the show's actually going to end. So
Mm,
Gusty, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
happy to be here.
We did get some info from some folks on your team, and our sources tell us that you've got your sights set on collegiate Overwatch. Do you currently play on a collegiate team?
No, I'm still in high school, but I
Oh, okay.
am trying to get into collegiate Overwatch. Like literally, I applied to Harrisburg so that I could be on
Ooh.
their team,
All right.
and also Maryville. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, like I'm trying to get to the top.
Oh, yeah.
I'm committed. I'm
I
very
was
much
about ready to
committed.
say Maryville and Harrisburg are definitely two
Mm.
of those top
No,
teams that you hear
yeah.
about.
I'm also like applying to colleges that like in case I don't get to those top collegiate teams, I'm also going like get some under but still pretty good colleges as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's amazing. So, I guess is the goal eventually to like go pro? Like you got your
Yes.
sights set.
Yeah.
Oh, you're set on
Yes.
Overwatch League. Then you're
Yeah.
going all the way. So I guess I got to ask you the question that everybody else is getting asked right now. How does OW2 factor into that?
Uh I'm just gonna do what I did when I first touched Overwatch, learn the game.
Okay.
Because even if it doesn't play completely different, it's still gonna play different. Like in my opinion, because like you're losing a tank, so the play style of like the entire game, like I'm pretty sure how Super Space said in the plat chat interview,
Hmm.
it's gonna be more deathmatchy. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
have to like learning that type of new style, if that is the case for Overwatch 2, that I feel like that I would be able to learn it if I did what I did when I was learning Overwatch 1, which was studying the game, watching what the pros did, or like watching over what mistakes I made and like how I made mistakes and how they didn't and how other people didn't. The whole shebang.
Hmm.
Um yeah.
See, I have that mentality of knowing like what the pros do. But the unfortunate part is I don't have any of the coordination to make it happen. So that's why I'm a caster. That's why I do what I do. So,
Yeah. There's
needless
nothing
to
bad
say,
about it.
I appreciate that. That's needless to say that's quite a journey that you're on right now. So
Yeah.
you said that you were looking at Maryville and Harrisburg. Is there like if you had your choice, if I could give you your choice of college that you would go to participate in esports, even if it wasn't one of the ones that we've listed thus far, where would you go?
Oh God, no. God.
We won't
I'd
hold you
say
to it on the
okay,
record,
okay, okay,
but
okay.
if you had your dream opportunity at a college, because I know all colleges are different when it comes to their
Yeah.
esports programs. Some are still building it up. Some got in early on the train back when esports was still just a little beeb. So, like, where are your sights set if you could go to any college that you wanted to for an esports program?
I'd say Harrisburg University because I feel
Okay.
like that even though they're not in contenders on like Maryville's team is, I
Hmm.
still feel like that the team would like allow me to learn more about my own play style or like
Hmm.
teach me more about how the game is played at such a higher level.
Hmm.
Um I feel like that they will do a better job of that than Maryville even if they aren't in contenders. So, yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Needless to say, there's a lot of other political aspects. I will just leave it at that of how Maryville gets into contenders and whatnot around
I
that
don't know
area.
about
But
this.
we won't get into that tonight. So no
Okay.
worries. It's weird how Path to Pro works, but nevertheless. Get looking transitioning just a little bit from the player to the fan. Like we said in your intro, I'm gonna assume that you're probably either from or around Philadelphia. Is that
I was born in the hospital, Philadelphia,
okay?
and
Okay.
I live like I basically live in like the Philadelphia area.
Okay.
I'm not no leaks. Don't DDoS me or
No,
else.
no, 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 no. We good. We
But
good. I'm
but
just
yeah.
saying. Usually, the relation to being like a massive so and so city fan is in relation to
Oh,
that you
I'm a simp.
live in that city typically.
I'm a simp for the city. That's partly why I picked Harrisburg in the previous game.
Yeah,
They're
that makes
in
sense.
Pennsylvania.
No,
But
that
yeah,
totally makes sense.
I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a Phillies fan. Just the whole thing. Okay, no, I don't have anything to be angry. I thought I had
so
something Eagles behind, but I don't.
so speaking of which, bleeding Philadelphia as it were, is there
Mhm.
any particular reason other than the hometown diff that you support like all these various teams?
I mean, I'm not. It just feels. It's gonna sound weird. It just feels right. But for Fusion specifically, just
Mhm.
like Carpe himself
Ooh,
and
yeah.
the personalities within Fusion, like Poco and Fraggy, in
Mhm.
season one, I should say, in season one. And then Carpe's like pop off like like this, like if I do not support this team, what am I doing?
Yeah, that really is kind of what it comes down to. I mean, thankfully, I live in like some random city in Connecticut, so we don't have any. Since we're all pseudo dedoxing here, I'll put myself out there as well.
Ah,
But I don't have any team that I necessarily simp for. Personally, my characteristic is whatever team has the best memes at the time. That's the one I'm simping for. So
valid.
I think right now Vancouver Titans have got me kind of hooked in. I'm
No.
not 100% for certain on that. Boston might be a close second. I have to go look back at my
No.
owl meme tier list and see what that looks like.
Nah, I can do one better. Valiant.
Okay. Ooh, well, Valiant's just a meme. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Yeah, true.
I got to be honest. So I was a big Valiant fan. Like when the season when Overwatch League first started. Like I was a big LA Valiant fan. But again, we get into the political realm, and we're not gonna touch that anymore. So let's dive into that a little deeper, though. If you had to pick a single team, whether it be Overwatch League or any of the sports teams that you support, if you had to pick one team that you are like, I am the hardest stan, I would go to every match. I'd never miss a game. If there is a home match, I am in the stands. You know, I'm the crazy fan, painted up in whatever get out gear I'm doing. What team is it, Gusty? What team is it?
Philadelphia Fusion, without a doubt. You want to know
Oh, so
why?
you're sticking with the esports
Yeah.
then. All right.
You want to know why? Because
Why?
that's the team that I'm looking to be on.
All right. You heard it
It's gonna.
here.
I'm
Heard it
gonna
here
admit it's
first,
gonna take a
folks.
while. I'm gonna admit it's gonna take a while,
Yeah.
but I do believe that I will get there.
I'm
And I
gonna
can
keep
see
my
Decrypt. I see you in the chat. You know I want to. I see you in the chat, Decrypt. Now haunted TF. You know he can vouch. He can vouch.
Hey, I believe it. Anyone that puts their mind to it, I think, can make it far. I mean, we've already seen it many times here in Tranquility. You know, we talk about Yamitra on Drifters, Rocket on Wisp. Like they started here in Tranquility, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to make their way up through the ranks, and now they're both contenders players. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get many that come from our not so small-ish community anymore. You know, League Zero and Elo Hell really take the cake on a majority of those players. But you know, for those that put in the hard work and climb their way up the ladder, good on you. So, Gusty, I wish you all the best in that endeavor. So, speaking of pressure, as we
no.
talk about the climb that you're on track of making, there was some pressure on your team to perform this season. Being Ragnarok Fenrir, previously as just Ragnarok from season 6. Do you feel that kind of was like an expectation to live up to coming into this season?
I've prepared this question for about a week now. I've
Good to know.
Since a lot of things happened. I came from Soul Cyberpunks along with Decrypt and Mira, and Yuki, our manager at the time. We came to Ragnarok. I felt good at the time because I was like, this is a roster. Well, this is part of a roster that did really well in season 6. So I was I'm still happy that I'm still on the team. It's still like I'm just still happy. English is a hard language,
I feel that. I really do.
Sadly, last week we did experience the drop, like the roster drops from Vila. Well, I don't know if it's announced.
Yeah,
I did announce it on. I did announce it on Twitter. I'm the social media manager for Ragnarok. If anyone doesn't know, I do make the graphics, which is why I cry all the time in the Tranquility whenever I drop someone. But we lost Vila, we lost Mira and Decrypt both, and Yuki, who were all three came from Seoul. Still really good friends with me. I still talk to them a lot. And we lost Veer. Sorry, it blanked me for a sec. I love you, Veer. I'm sorry. But we did lose them. I'm not going into it. But we have quickly picked up new players. Now my mindset is I'm not going to set expectations high for us, because if I do that, it'll crush my mental, because it already
Yeah,
did.
totally.
It already did, because we lost against Mechanized literally like yesterday.
Okay.
So since then I'm like, okay, I'm going to just go with the flow. Even if things do not work out, it's still an incredible season, and I still feel like I have learned so much. So I'm still looking positive, even though we've had that big roster change, and we did lose yesterday, and it was a tragic loss, but I'm not gonna keep my head down. I'm still gonna work hard in the playoffs that are coming up next week. I'm sure
Awesome.
everyone else is. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna do what we can in scrims and also in VOD reviews, and we are not giving up.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, and it's like I'll adjust this for like our current purposes, but as a statement I say very often is if you're American Tornado or in most recent Maryville, like, you're still a contenders player. Like, it doesn't matter if you finish first or you finish last. Like, you put your best on the table, and that's what matters. And
Definitely.
you can't control what life throws at you. No,
You can't. It's
it just happens like that sometimes. I would know. If any of you have been following me on Twitter, my move in the last week, I needed it to be perfect for the most part. So that I could do all the stuff that I do with the Invitational and Beat Drop and everything that was going on later on in the week. And the absolute insane case of events of our apartment getting skunked, having the wrong key to the basement, our movers getting a flat tire, like day after day after day. Like you can't make that up. Like, you really can't. And I might have been crying inside just a little bit during that time. But nevertheless, like, it's a week later. We got through it, the move's done and all that. But like, that's one of those moments where it's like, no matter what comes at you, you just got to keep going. You just got to do your best to, use what you are in control of and be able to push forward, because you never know. Ragnarok Fenrir, you're still in the playoffs. You still have a chance. You still have a chance to take it all the way, even with a new roster. So,
and you know what else? Since our new roster, we're 1-1 with our new roster. I should also say we did not just lose one game with our new roster. We actually won against Monarch in the week in the previous with this new roster iteration, which we are going to add to soon.
okay.
I think I'm not sure actually. I should probably confirm with Thor before I should have said that actually. But
no worries. I won't tell anybody. Only the 33 friends that we have watching. No big.
Yeah, but still like, no, knowing Thor for as long as I have, I don't think he's going to give up.
Oh no.
Neither am I. Neither is Carlos. None of the guys and gals on that team are going to give up for these coming playoffs. We're still going to play the best that we can, and do what it takes. And even if we lose round one, that was a hell of a run.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not for certain where you all are seated, because I know the seating is odd, but
I believe it's 11 throughout Discord, because I looked at the Discord chat early today, and I believe someone posted it.
Oh, so you all are literally at the brink then.
Were we?
You're
I actually don't
like barely hanging on. That, well, if you're 11 seed, then you should be like barely in the playoffs then. If you're 11 seed.
I don't know if that is accurate. I just saw it like quickly and just did not think anything of it.
Gotcha. I also have not seen it, so I have no idea. But for those of you that don't know, we do have we've added like an elimination, like double elim tournament, like in the middle of the playoffs and the knockout round. And stage 2, I mean, which used to be the knockout round. This is now the knockout round. And based on how you perform in stage 2 determines how you are placed in the knockout round. So you literally can be on the brink of elimination going straight into the knockout round, which you would have been in the knockout group starting in stage 2 and would have had to climb your way back up for redemption. Funny enough, we didn't see Dirt make that run. Thanks NPC for saying that Dirt is good at the beginning of the season. Would have been fun to watch, but needless to say, I would not be surprised. We have seen teams come back from the brink every time. We've seen teams be able to turn it around. Like, what was it last season? Who was it in Transcendence Tier? There was one team that just like out of nowhere just like blew everyone away and took down Alpha. I can't remember the name of it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I
any
can't
names from
remember
last
the name of the
season.
team off
In
the
trans tiers, especially since I wasn't in there.
But nevertheless, like it came as a surprise to everyone because Alpha was just so dominant. Like nobody expected anything different from Alpha. Atlas Arcadia? No.
Atlas Arcadia was in Discord at the time.
That was a Discord
I
team.
remember because we beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I forget what it is, Apathy, but no, it wasn't Arcana Emperor either. I don't think it was with an A though. We're getting there, but nevertheless, like the underdog always has a chance. So as long as you're in it, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So speaking of which, you actually brought this up a little bit. Social media. Not something that we get to talk a lot about. I mean, we deal with it on a day to day, but as a high schooler, kind of how have you like jumped on to the social media manager train, and kind of how do you navigate that? Where did you learn kind of all your tricks of the trade, so to speak, and whatnot?
This is so. I was actually for also those of you who don't know, I was the social media manager for Soul Cyberpunks when we were around. And before that, I had probably close to zero experience with graphic design and also social media management. But Nightwing, who was the team owner of Soul, said he wants to have a team Twitter, and I was like, I'll do it. Because my major is going to be like in college is going to be like advertisement and like graphic design, like along those lines. So I kind of like taught myself how to do those things, and then when I came to Ragnarok, Yuki helped me a lot because she has a lot of experience with graphic design. So she helped me out a lot to improve my skills within that field, and it's been fun. So
awesome. I know that's something that I deal with a lot in the tier 3 scene is finding good social media managers. So is that like your goal? Is that like one of the areas you're looking to pursue in college, is like social media and like stuff like that?
Yeah, if pro play doesn't work, that's my backup. Basically.
Nice.
And if not that, then some like analytical field in esports. Like I want to have a career in esports, basically, just in any way.
It is budding by the day, Gusty. That's exactly why I do what I do. Like I love casting, but I also know that I don't hold a candle to some of these young folk out here. So that's why I do tournament management on the side. I run production. I do, I try to keep my foot in as best as I can, and I'm hoping one day it'll stick. And then, we'll be able to have a good time enjoying what we do. At the end of the day, as long as you're enjoying what you do in life, folks. I know that that's kind of cliche. Everybody says that
enjoy what you want to do.
You should go to college for what you want to do, but truthfully, don't let people influence you. Go to college for what you want to do. That's the only way that you're truly going to be happy in life, is if you pursue your dream. So
I 100% agree, and I'm not even in college.
Yeah, so sometimes you don't even have to go to college. I'll be honest with you. So if you're talented enough and you can find ways to not go to college, or you go to like a trade school or something like that, all those are options on the table for you. There is no one way to adulthood and to the the thing that you want to do for the rest of your life. So just make it good. That's all I got to say on that. So, needless to say, as we look at kind of Fenrir's trajectory and knowing the teams that you're going to be looking to face in the near future, are there any teams that you're kind of worried about? Are there any teams that you're looking forward to possibly facing as we're waiting for those brackets to come out? And before you answer, I want to let the chat know one last time, if you want to participate in our interview, be sure to be putting those questions in the chat and letting us know so that we can possibly ask your question on the beat drop this evening. Go ahead, Gusty.
So, okay. There is one team that I want to play. I don't know if we will be on the same side of the bracket as them, because I don't know what the bracket's going to look like or whatever. Domination. Because I know Domination personally. And I want to play against them because it'll be the most fun match, I think, in Tranquility history.
Ooh.
If we play against them, and if it is streamed, I hope to God if we do play against each other, it will be streamed. It's going to be such a fun match to watch, just because I know the guys and I know the people there. It's I want to play them so bad. Dab, if you're in chat, I want to beat you.
Gusty's coming for you. You better watch
I'm
out.
coming for you, Dab. I'm not on the same side as Dom. No.
Oh,
This is a sad day.
Gotta
Finals.
Gotta make the top 6. That's what apathy says. So make it into the top 6, and then we'll see. So hey, still possible. Still possible.
Possible, and I want it possible.
All right. Looking in the chat, it seems that we have Artemis asking, Gusty, what's your favorite map to play on?
Oh, God. See, Lijiang or King's Row are going to be the final 2.
Oof.
And I'd have to say King's Row, just because of it's like, it's not me being biased towards the Overwatch community. The Overwatch community loves King's Row, but I just love King's Row just because of like the different. It's just the way I play on that map is different than what I play and on how I play on any other map.
Okay.
If I'm gonna be like, because I get to play Lucio, who is my best character, no doubt.
Okay.
Anyone who argues is just wrong.
You're just wrong. See it in the clip. We've seen it in some of the clips already tonight, so I totally see that.
Yeah, it's a map where I feel like that I can be so free as to how I can play. On Lijiang, yes, you have like gardens and night market, but Control Center is where it's just I don't enjoy playing Control Center at all. It's just not a map, because if you lose first one in Control Center, it just feels like that you can't take it back. So that's why I don't like. That's why I picked King's Row, because you can come back from it, and
makes sense.
It's just the most fun I have playing in Overwatch.
Awesome. Well, I was given the little disappointed dad nod there, because so many people say King's Row, but that was a really good explanation. To be honest with you, I just get so burnt out on King's Row. Like, I see it all the time. Every tournament I cast, if it's in the map pool and they get to pick, we're heading to King's Row. Like, there's no question about it. Like, that's where we're going. So that's why I love communities like Trank and the Invitational, where we set very specific map pools at certain times. So you get that little break from King's Row every now and again, which is very nice. At least for me, it's very nice. I don't know how the teams feel about that, but spread your wings. All right. Overwatch League doesn't just play on King's Row. All right.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
All right, so it looks like that is about all the questions that I've got for you tonight, Gusty, except for your weird question.
Oh no, I forgot.
Your qualified weird question that has to come out, and there is a right answer.
Oh, right? God help me! There is.
There is a right answer, because you're talking to me, so there has to be a right answer, right? So, who would win in a fight? A samurai or a pirate?
Samurai or pirate? Oh. Huh. It depends. What equipment does the samurai and the pirates have?
Well, they have their normal equipment.
Okay, pirates have pirate ships. Does that count?
I mean, technically, but they wouldn't necessarily be fighting a samurai with their pirate ship. Think
never
about
know.
like hand-to-hand combat, I guess.
Okay, hand-to-hand
Let's go,
combat. All right,
let's
so
go
that's what we get
hand-to-hand
by.
combat.
So I'd say the samurai, because samurais have more fighting experience, plus also have more techniques than pirates do.
Okay.
Even with pirates' ranged weapons, I'm sure that I'm pretty sure that samurais have like the experience of dealing with ranged weapons, since that they are so. You're laughing, and I feel like that it's
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be the
just
wrong
reading the
answer.
chat. I'm just
Uh
reading
huh.
the
Yeah.
chat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I have pulled on my second monitor. I see it. But I think the samurai is just more. They're more advanced. They're more advanced in their fighting techniques.
Mhm.
They have just the better fighting style. They're faster. They're smarter. Pirates are pirates. That's the end of that discussion. So yeah.
As a representative, Captain Jack, I may have to disagree just on the premise, but I like your reasoning.
So you're wrong.
Although apathy does say a samurai has never seen a gun, which honestly I think is not true. You might have to look back on
Here's
that.
the thing, though. Even if
Maybe
they
a lot
have
of
seen the gun, they might mistake it as a bow and arrow because they see
well,
it's ranged.
yeah. I
Just a
mean,
more advanced bow and arrow. So
it also might not just be a modern day gun, right? Like we know
those things are
even prior to
those
the
things are
guns that
slow,
we had in like, the Civil War and whatnot, like there were projectile weapons
and
that
it
were
takes
created
30 years
used
to load them.
exactly.
You shoot it,
But
and then you're like, okay, gotta put this.
I
It's
mean,
like,
they existed though. They did exist before then, though. So good to know. Goodness gracious. All right, Gusty. Thank you so much for being on the beat drop with us tonight. Is there any way
Oh,
that you'd like to shout out? Anything else you'd like to talk about before we let you go for the evening?
so two people actually. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it's the two that I hold dear to my heart because they are the ones that had me meet Mira and Decrypt and my other previous teammates.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Yuki and Nightwing. Most of you guys probably don't know who Nightwing is. Nightwing was the manager of Souls, not the manager, the owner of Soul Cyberpunks, and then brought in Yuki to manage the team. And Yuki then went on to manage Fenrir,
Mm-hmm.
but she has sadly left due to personal reasons, and also school has been kicking her butt.
Mm-hmm.
But Nightwing and Yuki have been they've I'm just gonna say outright they practically saved my life, and I will never I will never like I will never forget the day that Nightwing messaged me on Discord saying, "Hey, do you want to be on my team?" Because his soul was the first. Well, it was Ascent, but Nightwing's team was the first team I've ever competitive team that I've ever played on, and it's allowed me to become who I am now. And I will always thank Yuki and Nightwing for that.
Hey, sometimes it just takes that spark, right? It just takes that one person to give you an opportunity. I know that that's what I try to do with what little prestige people think that I have. I try to open those doors for other
Yeah.
people. So hearing stories like this just warms an old
I mean, it's
boomer's heart.
true.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
I still miss Soul to this day.
yeah.
I still miss that team. We were so
Well,
good.
Well,
So
you
fun.
never know. Fingers crossed.
Half the team
We
left.
have
Half the team left Overwatch.
well, I mean, you can always see a team resurrect. I mean,
True.
do you watch Contenders? Like the rotation of
You know,
teams
you
that go
have a
through there.
point. You have a point.
It's almost like they get bored of like a certain branding and then they just move to another team like branding structure that they have set up and they just go in rotation throughout the year. It's really odd.
I agree.
But needless to say, thank you so much, Gusty, for being on the beat drop tonight. I'm going to go
It
ahead
was such a
and
pleasure.
it was absolutely a pleasure for me as well, Gusty. Let's go ahead and close out the show. There's my buddy Jack again. Welcome back, Jack. I know you can't say anything, but you just look absolutely still flabbergasted. I know we created still an hour show out of just doing the interviews. It's like maybe we should just do more interviews instead of amp it up, and we might. We're constantly mixing things up here on the Beat Drop, trying to figure out what you like and you don't like, and if you do like or not like things, let us know. Reach out to me in a DM. We do have I believe there's a feedback form that's typically used for the regular productions, but if you leave any feedback in there, you definitely can. It'll definitely get to me in one way or another for us to get that figured out. But thank you so much to Sleepy G, Euphoria, and Gusty for joining us tonight. It was an absolute pleasure to have you all on board. And as always, be sure to be tuning in to the Tranquility Tournament. We've always got stuff going on every Monday through Thursday night. Mondays, as always, is the Iris podcast with the Predicting Tranquility right afterwards. Tuesday nights, you got your feature match in the Harmony tier, followed up soon after by the Amazing Juggle God and the Coach's Corner. And then Wednesday night with the Transcendence tier. And as always, Thursday night's feature in Discord, followed up by Beat Drop. So we will see you this time next Thursday with some more amazing players and just so much more amazing things here from the Tranquility community. From all the folks here, my name's Captain Jack, and we'll see you all next time.